For me, boot camp doesn't work for me. AI optimize, human invent. Keep go with this line and keep understanding the basics of product design. And you will land up into a job definitely. Don't focus on where exactly you want to land up. Pehle people used to ask, "What do you see yourself in 5 years?" I say, please change it to 2 years now. Human plus AI is going to replace you. Don't think of going to UX design in Google. That's a wrong roadmap if you started selecting. I have seen that movie a lot of time. All the culture they showed inside the company is somehow correct aligned, which I feel after joining Google. I don't know. I have never checked a ATS score in my resume yet. But just to give you a background, I worked for Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, three companies.
हे डिज़ाइनर्स, हमारे आज के गेस्ट ने कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट डिज़ाइन क्वेश्चंस का जवाब दिया है। आने वाले सालों में एआई और डिज़ाइन मिल के किस ओर जा रहे हैं, बिग टेक लाइक फ्लैंग यूएक्स डिज़ाइनर्स में क्या ढूंढ रहे हैं और कैसे ये यूटिलाइज कर रहे हैं डिज़ाइन की पावर को इस दुनिया को बेहतर बनाने में, और कैसे आप जॉब ले सकते हैं इन कंपनीज में, और एआई को डिज़ाइन थिंकिंग के हर स्टेप पे कैसे यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं। ये सब बात करी हमने हमारे आज के गेस्ट से। हमारे आज के गेस्ट ने अपनी डिज़ाइन इंस्पिरेशन पाई लेगोस के बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक से एंड अपना प्रोफेशनल करियर स्टार्ट किया एज अ डेवलपर इन अ स्टार्टअप, देन एज अ डिज़ाइनर इन अमेजॉन, देन माइक्रोसॉफ्ट एंड नाउ इन गूगल। अमेजिंग। आगे बढ़ने से पहले इस पॉडकास्ट को पूरा देखें सो यू कैन गेट द बेस्ट ऑफ इट, एंड जल्दी से जाके इसे सब्सक्राइब कर लें। माय नेम इज सिंघानिया एंड टुडे वी आर फीचरिंग Sujit Kumar Pradhan in Designs of Everyday. The overall scenario of a product design and the UX design in India right now shifted towards a lot of different alleys, like right, not a road anymore. It's like a lot of shortcuts are there. So if you are aware, I think you also know about there's a engineering का IIT का एक ना trend था, there's a भेड़चाल of it, right? there's a tons of कोचिंग खुल गया है, लाइक जैसे अभी उसका चलता है, यू नो आईएएस एग्जाम के लिए चलता है, जैसे खुल गया है, कोई भी उठ के आ रहा है, बोल रहा है ऐसा चल रहा है, वैसा कर रहा है। there's a boot camps also, राइट। हम आपका ये पढ़ा देंगे, ऐसा करेंगे, 2 दिन के अंदर आप बन जाएंगे यूएक्स डिज़ाइनर। मतलब मैं नहीं बन पाया, प्लस सीरियसली आई हैवंट नॉट थॉट इन माई सेल्फ कि आई हैव दिस कैपेबिलिटी, 2 दिन में बन जाऊँगा, मुझे नहीं पता। सो ऐसा बन जाएंगे ये कोर्सेज, मतलब सेलिंग कोर्सेज। बट प्रॉब्लम क्या हो रहा है, ठीक है कोर्सेज बेचो भाई, जिसको जो बेचना है बेचो, मेरा क्या है इसमें। बट द प्रॉब्लम आई सी, ये इतना ज़्यादा यू नो सफोकेटिंग हो गया है एरिया, जहाँ पर अब बड़ा हार्ड है डिफ्रेंशिएट करने के लिए। मतलब आई सी लिंक्डइन में जो आप जॉब के लिए पुट करते हो, वहाँ पर पहले से जब डालो 100 पहले से होंगे। इट्स ऑलवेज से 100 एप्लीकेंट्स, ठीक है, इट्स ऑलरेडी देयर। सो थिंक कि लॉन्ग टर्म में कहाँ जा रहा है ये, वही जाने वाला है कि क्रेजी खत्म हो गया लोगों का बाद में फिर यूएक्स डिजाइनिंग से। सो व्हाट योर पीओवी ओवर दिस वन?
Yeah, I think, yeah, for me, boot camp doesn't work for me. Personally, like on a personal basis, again, a lot of people will raise question, why not boot camp? A lot of people do boot camp. I know a lot of people. I'll not take any names, but yeah, for me personally, I feel 6 months में UX designer बनाना, तो हम यहाँ पे क्या कर रहे हैं 8 साल से? So that kind of a thing. So it's slightly difficult when you say 6 months or 1 year of course and you will be a designer.
क्योंकि कुछ लोगों में यू नो व्हाट आई वन ऑफ दोस थिंग्स आई बिलीव, लाइक फॉर्मली बिलीव, यूएक्स इज अ डिसिप्लिन डेफिनेटली, बट यू नो द फॉर द यूएक्स यू ऑल्सो एम्पैथी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है एज अ पर्सन, ठीक है। नॉट एवरी रैंडम पर्सन कैन मेक अ एक्सपीरियंस। इवन उसको नोटिस करने के लिए भी यू हैव सर्टेन एबिलिटी, जो चीज़ ना कुछ चीज़ें सीखी नहीं जा सकती। आई डोंट नो, मतलब वो कुछ चीज़ें आप पॉलिश कर सकते हो, इनहांस कर सकते हो, बेटर कर सकते हो, कुछ चीज़ें आप नहीं सीख सकते, स्पेशली थिंग्स विद आर्ट। एक्सपीरियंस में भी कुछ ऐसा है कि इट्स मोर लाइक अ हॉस्पिटलिटी केयरिंग थिंग, यू नो, यू लाइक केयरिंग पीपल। अब ये ज़बरदस्ती नहीं सिखाया जा सकता किसी को, ठीक है। तो ये बड़ा ह्यूमेन है, यू नो, बड़ा साइकोलॉजिकल चीज़ें हैं।
I would say if you really are keen to know about design and all, there are formal studies, bachelor's in design, bachelor's in master's in design. So definitely look into that. There are great colleges right now in India. It was not there long back, but there are right now great opportunities in India. Colleges, good colleges. Definitely look into it. From a design perspective, if you really want to do a formal education, which is there. Now, in terms of your in what we say ROI, right? I feel the best ROI is going through a formal education. I have not gone through that. Doesn't mean that you should not. If you give me a chance, I would have gone through. I didn't got an opportunity. That's why I did it. But I always say that if you have an option and you can do it financially and you're according to your timeline, also go through a formal education. That's the best thing to go ahead with. Look around colleges and all, which is there. That's the first point. Now, bootstrap again, it's not good or bad. I would not say it according to you. What's your decision? I personally feel that it will not teach you. It will just make you a case study at the end of the bootcamp, which you can do without attending a bootcamp also if you are just disciplined enough. It's more of कि घर पे भी gym कर सकते हैं. It's just that when you basically give the
Okay.
money and go to gym, you are doing it's exactly same thing. Somebody is putting you in, under the influence of that. You have paid the money and there is a discipline. Somebody will hit you. You have to make a case study. So yeah, why if you want to, don't spend to it by your own, the same case study. um Learning about nuances, enough resources in YouTube, which you will get more than a boot camp. Any boot camp can provide you to know about design right now in the industry. So if you really are interested, rather than boot camp, go to YouTube, search a lot of videos, enough for you to consume for your entire lifetime, that kind of a thing. So go through that. Now applying to job, as you said, it's rightly correct. As soon as you go to LinkedIn, already maybe in 1 hour hundreds of people have applied, because it's about the ratio, like one versus thousand applicant. We cannot help. That's generic. What I say is, what gives you extra edge is, that's why I say that be more active in LinkedIn than Instagram, which is there. So I'm very active in LinkedIn. So I keep on adding people. I keep on adding design managers, leaders in LinkedIn, because what happens is when they post that there is an opening, uh, what I do is I just drop a normal message that, hey, this is XYZ, this is my portfolio, this is not too long, not too short, just to the point, small message with my resume and portfolio link. Most of the people trust, they see it. They may not respond you, because even I have, trust me, I have so many DMs that I will not be able to respond everybody. Just try to understand, they have lesser time than me.
Agree.
So they will definitely see you, and trust me, if your portfolio stands out, you are going to get a call from HR for sure, if they are a hiring manager. That is helpful. So I always say, whenever there's an open position, try to figure out who is the hiring manager in that company, or somebody have posted. A lot of hiring manager also post. So reaching out to them definitely gives you an edge of basically skipping those 100 applicants and directly sitting in the interview in the first place, which is there. Because 100 applicants have applied in the portal and that resume have not yet reached to that hiring manager,
Agree.
but you have already skipped that line, which is there. The second thing is, you reach out to maybe your friends or somebody who's already there in the same company. See, referral works in a very traditional way. Now, referral doesn't mean you will get a call. Very simple. Because as a designer, I know 10 designers. I refer 10 designers. Will they got call? No, that's
No.
not. How a referral works is, if I know the hiring manager, I go to my hiring manager like, hey, I know this one of my friend and I have the resume. You should look at it. It's a good portfolio, and that gives you an extra edge. If I know, if I don't know the hiring manager, definitely I work in Microsoft, you work in Microsoft, that doesn't mean I know you. It's a very huge organization,
Agree.
and there are different disciplines, different products over there. So don't think that there is a hiring manager. I have got messages where somebody put some hiring managers link and like, hey, this team is hiring, can you refer me and talk to them. They will not understand me, right? I'll talk to them. That's completely fine, internal Microsoft. But why they will consider me? They don't know me. It's again a random person pinging in Microsoft, that kind of a thing. So you need to understand those nuances. Also, everybody asks me for a referral. Trust me, I have so referral messages. But the problem is, I'll refer, it's fine. But will you get a call? No, it's not. It doesn't works like that. Referral to it's a portal. I'll just give you a name and it happens. But that also push my credibility to question, because if I keep on pushing referral thousands and thousand people who are not worth it, then my referral, what is the point of referral?
Agree.
Or
Agree.
referral is basically, I know that person, I can trust the credibility of the person. That's how I do, which is there. So I say that drop a message, it's fine to a hiring manager, but wait for it. Don't, I keep on getting messages like I have seen referral message, I see and didn't respond, again a message, again a message. So that irritates me sometimes. So I would say don't do that. Just drop a message, drop a resume. Someday, if there is a alignment with your portfolio, the person will definitely ask you because we need people, right? It's not that we have to fill the one hiring position. It's that I will keep the hiring position open and I'll get some money. It doesn't happen like that. I need to fill
Agree,
it.
agree.
That kind of a thing. So yeah, just wait for some time and see if it getting a call or not. But I think that's the way to skip what you said. Already applied 100,000, 10,000. That's a way to great way to skip. That's why I say keep adding connections in LinkedIn, build more connections in LinkedIn, try to add design managers, design leadership, those kind of people, or a senior designer. Those they can help you definitely over there. So yeah, that's the way you can basically skip that.
That's really perfect, man. That's a very nice input that you have provided as someone's coming from a someone from Google and someone so experienced in this craft. It's really, really appreciating. So the fun question I have is, name one app or product you think is designed horribly, or how?
Horribly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if
Um,
you give, if I give you 30 seconds, how you wanna fix it?
Okay, so I think I would not say horribly, but when Cred launched their dark mode initially, as a user, I was like, what exactly happened? Right now, I'm trained into it, which is there, but they launched it, I think, over a night or a 24 hour. I updated the app. I'm a very big Cred user. It's not that the app is bad, because all my credit card, all my business, it's so easy to use. But one day I opened. I saw the entire interface, everything changed. As a designer, as a tech savvy guy, it took me hours and hours just to figure out again. So I'm thinking the person who is just using it for a credit card bill, what would even happen for that? So I feel that's a horrible experience I have seen, like rather than a progressive change, which is there.
Okay. You know, I'm actually not expecting cred because cred is one of those I really
Best app,
worshipped.
people say.
हाँ.
Yeah, I even do the same thing. You said about horrible experience. I said like it's not about design, it's about the horrible experience they gave me once and how to fix it. I personally feel it can be a progressive also. Not a 24 hours you update and everything like kind of blasted.
Agree. You know, one of this very good thing with the AI the people are doing, it comes into the personalization of the applications. It's more in that domain. Is right now what we have कि मेरे डिवाइस का जो सेटिंग है बेसिकली मैंने डार्क मोड यूज़ कर
Yeah.
रखा है या
Yes.
फिर लाइट मोड किया है, वो डिवाइस वैसे कर लेता है. दिस इज लाइक मोर मैकेनिकल एल्गोरिथमिक बेस. बट ए आई से अभी वॉट एग्जैक्टली दे आर डूइंग, पर्सनलाइज मल्टी मोड. इट्स कॉल्ड मल्टी मोड. आई थिंक मैंने एक रील भी इस पर बनाया था. आई थिंक रिस्पॉन्सिव के ऊपर ज़्यादा इसका एप्लीकेशन है. इट्स हेल्प विद द डिज़ाइनर क्योंकि मैंने जिस स्क्रीन पे बनाया था, जो कलर टेम्परेचर पे बनाया था, ठीक है, सो
Yeah.
उसके अकॉर्डिंग वो जिस भी डिवाइस पे जाया था तो डिवाइस का यू नो
Change हो जाता
चेंज
है.
डिवाइस को ही चेंज करता था, अपना डिज़ाइन को नहीं अडेप्ट
Change.
करता था,
Yeah.
उस डिज़ाइन
Yeah.
के बेसिस पे डिवाइस को चेंज करता था. तो इज वन ऑफ
Makes
दोस
sense.
वेरी
Yeah,
नाइस
yeah.
एप्लीकेशन.
Even yeah, they are coming up with AI based UI also. I forgot the name of the company. I met one of the so in Microsoft. There's a conference happened, and I met the founder of the company. And so basically, how a AI understand what's your usability and
Agree.
change the UI based on it.
Personalization.
That's generative. It's called as generative UI.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's also something which maybe we'll see in future that जो मेरे लिए यूज़फुल है, आपके लिए नहीं यूज़फुल है.
अग्री.
यू डोंट वांट टू सी दैट.
आई थिंक
तो
मैंने
थिंग्स शुड.
मेरे वाले सीरीज के ऊपर आई थिंक दैट वाज माय फोर्थ वीडियो समथिंग लाइक दैट एंड सेड अबाउट दिस वन एंड इट्स वेरी नाइस ऑल्सो and at the same
या
time it's gonna be a very brutal for me also because it's gonna make a bubble around me, राइट.
या
मुझे नहीं पता कि
ट्रू.
उसके अलावा भी वो यूआई कैसा दिखता है. आई थिंक
पूछा
ये
है. या
यूएक्स के यू नो एक्सपेक्ट पे ये चीज़ अभी भी होती है कि कुछ चीज़ों का प्राइस मुझे अलग दिखता है और इफ़ यू सी दैट तुमको अलग
हाँ,
दिखेगा,
हाँ.
राइट. वो अभी होता है.
या या
भाई यूआई के बेसिस पे इतना नहीं होता था क्योंकि अभी ब्रांड की कंसिस्टेंसी ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रहती है फॉर नाउ. बट वो जनरेटिव टर्म्स
या
में आ जाएगा तो वो एक्चुअली लाइव जनरेट करता है फॉर यू कि
या
मेरा यूजिबिलिटी बस इतना है. किसी के जैसे आई थिंक फेसबुक का होता है, फेसबुक का लाइट भी आता है, फेसबुक मैसेंजर का एक लाइट वर्जन भी आता
हाँ,
है, राइट.
या
और एक का एक फुल फ्लेज आता है. तो इट आई थिंक वो कैसे काम करता है कि थर्ड टीयर का या सेकंड टीयर का जो सिटीज़ रहते हैं उस पर शायद इंटरनेट का जो भी कैपेसिटी है, क्या स्पीड है, उसके हिसाब से वो लाइट वर्जन ऑपरेटेबल सजेस्ट करता है, और
Mm.
जहाँ पर आप नॉर्मल मेट्रो सिटी की तरफ रहते हो तो इट्स गोना सजेस्ट यू एकदम लाइक फुल फ्लेज वर्जन. सो वैसे ही
Yeah.
आई थिंक इट्स गोना वर्क द फॉर एवरी वन. बट इट हैज़ अ गुड पार्ट ऑल्सो, इज हैव अ बैड पार्ट ऑल्सो, कि
Yeah,
बहुत
bad
सारी
part also.
चीज़ें ऐसे होती है कि लाइक फॉर द ओ एस अगर मैं बात करूँ, मेरे को शायद पता भी नहीं है कि वो उस ओ एस के अंदर एग्जिस्ट भी करता है, क्योंकि मैंने कभी यूज़ ही नहीं किया, मेरा मतलब ही नहीं पड़ता. बट
Yes.
इट द क्यूरियस पार्ट कि आपको डिस्कवरी के लिए कुछ बचा नहीं है, मतलब यू आर जस्ट इन योर ओन
Mm.
रूम, उससे बाहर का नहीं है.
True.
इट्स अ गुड, बट
Yeah.
सबसे ज़्यादा जो हेल्पफुल लगता है मुझे, आई थिंक दैट इज कम्स टू एक्सेसिबिलिटी. जो बहुत सारे एल्डरलीज हैं जिनके लिए हमारा एक पेट क्वेश्चन होता है ना हर इंटरव्यू में, कि अगर वो 60 ईयर ओल्ड का होगा तो उसको कैसा दिखेगा,
होगा
हाउ
तो
यू गोन
yeah.
राइट. बट तो वो वाला
Yes.
प्रॉब्लम वो यहाँ सॉल्व करता है. ठीक है, कि
Yes.
उसको
Yeah.
दिखेगा तो सब कुछ बड़ा दिखेगा, और उसको मतलब की चीज़ रखेगा चार. आई थिंक दैट्स गोना बी पुट इट.
Correct.
So that's one of those questions I put it there. So one more interesting question I have. Complete this under 10 seconds. Design is not about pixel. Design is about.
Usability
Agree.
for me.
Right. At least it's subjective, you know. Yeah, agree.
Subjective,
But
that is
मेरे
for
लिए,
me is
हाँ, agree.
important. That's why I said cred is badly designed because usability was hampered for me
Agree. Agree.
rather than how it looks.
Yeah, actually, I experience this part cause being a designer हमें थोड़ा सा वो साइड को देखने में कभी कभी दिक्कत होती है, क्योंकि मेरा लाइफस्टाइल ही वैसा
Yes,
ही है.
yes,
तो मुझे
correct,
आई एम फैंसी अबाउट दिस, मुझे ऐसा ही, मेरा घर ही ऐसा बनाया है मैंने. तो मुझे,
correct.
और मैं
Yeah,
पैदा भी ऐसा ही हुआ, तो मुझे नहीं पता कि दूसरा वाला बंदा क्या है. दैट्स व्हाट द यूएक्स रिसर्च इज ऑल अबाउट. बट जब हम
yeah,
डे टू डे लाइफ में जाके बाहर देखते हैं ना, तो हमारा एक्सपेक्टेशन होता है अच्छा ये तो नॉर्मल है, मतलब मेरे लिए
yeah, yeah.
नॉर्मलाइज्ड है, राइट, उसके लिए नहीं है. तो वो कुछ हिकअप करता है ना बीच में, तो आप यूँ करते हैं, oh yeah, okay, maybe possible.
Yeah.
Okay, another quick question for you. Say the first thing that comes to your mind. What's the most overrated UX buzzword today?
AI.
Okay, how so? बहुत छोटा
Yeah,
सा
I
explain.
feel yeah, I feel it's a very big buzzword. It should be normalized by now. Everybody needs to understand that that's part of every day, how it is. It's like Figma, it's now normalized for me. Nobody buzz about oh Figma, because it's everybody knows I have to use that tool for designing.
Mhm.
AI is also the same thing. I feel it's too much buzzed right now, but you need to understand it's normal, you can learn it, it's easy to learn. Just ensure that you are up to the trend, understand it, use it like responsibly. That's it.
Okay, so yeah, actually, lot makes sense because buzzword is there, but definitely वो लॉन्ग टर्म में नॉर्मलाइज हो भी जाएगा. आई थिंक
Yeah.
एक टाइम पे क्या नाम था उसका, मैं तो नाम भी भूल गया सॉफ्टवेयर का. व्हाट इज दैट नेम ऑफ दैट? आई थिंक एक फिग्मा तो था, फिग्मा से पहले एक और था ना जो सिर्फ iOS पे चलता था. व्हाट इज,
Sketch. Sketch.
यस, उसका नाम भूल गया. एक टाइम पे वो
Sketch
बजवर्ड था.
is gone.
हाँ, वो एक,
It was one of the biggest tool and gone.
यस एंड गॉन. तो कुछ भी जा सकता है कुछ भी नया आ भी
Yeah.
सकता है.
Yeah.
दैट्स द गुड पॉइंट ऑफ इट, कि कुछ भी हो सकता, अनप्रिडिक्टेबल है. बट एनीवेज, एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन. आई जस्ट वांट टू सी योर एज अ डिज़ाइनर, व्हाट यू थिंक कि हम किधर जा रहे हैं. सो डिज़ाइन इन 2030 विल बी.
I feel it's 80% of the concept or thinking, basically why and what, and 20% will be execution, how. That's how I see 2030. Like yesterday, just an example, I was giving a session in IIT Jodhpur, and I was talking about this, that the things how basically AI is changing is I focus more into the concept, and there is a very good term which called AI optimize and human invent. That's something 2030 looks like to me. That it should be optimizing your effort around how exactly I should achieve this, and but what to achieve, why to achieve. These are the two main questions which will be responsible and giving our 80% of the focus. Right now it's reverse, maybe like 5 year down the line. Previously it was reverse, that अरे हमने ये डिजाइन सोच लिया, अब मैं करूं कैसे इसको. That was the question. But right now it's like करना हम देख लेंगे, करना तो हो ही जाएगा, AI is there. But what to figure out, that's there. So yeah, I think that's what I look at 2030. Not even 2030. I feel 2030 is a long short. I think down 2 years or maximum 3 years. We'll see this happening.
Agree, agree, agree.
पहले people used to ask, what do you see yourself in 5 years? I say, please change it to 2 years now, because 5 years is a very long time. You see
All
how
right.
AI is evolving in 1 year and 2 year, that kind of a thing. So now the time span is exponentially reducing for everything. So yeah, from 5 year, let's go down to 2 years.
Absolutely. Now we are coming into a section जहाँ पर सिर्फ और सिर्फ एआई की बात करेंगे, cause that's how the
Yeah,
present and future allows. Past की हमने बात कर ली, so ये main section है. I think it's gonna be more adventurous, serious talk also, and most fun part. So उससे पहले बस एक ये question है. I just wanted
yeah.
to your point on this. Um, what's that one design project that you worked on that completely failed, but taught
Mhm.
you a lesson where you will never forget? Is there any projects
Okay.
that you have done?
So yeah, definitely. Like there are a lot. It's not one. There are a lot, definitely. But which I remember, I when I joined Microsoft, I worked for a edutech product. And it was a product which was being basically acquired by Microsoft called as Take Listen, which was like US dominating product into edutech. But we are more into like, for example, you want to learn a guitar or you want to get a maths class, you just book a session online and just go and talk to the person. It's more of when we came to, and our idea was to expand in India, which was there. But what we that time Byju's and everything was there. It was not the era where Byju's was being removed. So it's I think 2022 around when I started working on this project. We thought being Microsoft, we will be definitely great in this segment because everybody trusts. It's a trustworthy company. People knows Microsoft very well at a household. We tried to scale it in India, but what we realized is there are a lot of operation challenges we came across from basically onboarding a teacher. So just to give you an example, in India, to onboard a teacher, a background check takes around 15 to 20 days for a person. And same thing happens with as an employee also. Like when a company hires you, the background check company has been given your detail, they check your background, criminal case and all those things, and it takes around 15 to 20 days. So technically, if you're launching a new product, 15 days is a waiting time for a teacher to onboard into it. Whereas let's go to US and see how they're structured. You put your social security number, it gives the fraction of minute,
Agree.
the data loads, it will tell you what exactly is the background detail about that person. So that's a huge difference. So what we thought is same thing will work, but it didn't work. We failed hugely, and definitely we hired a lot of vendor companies and all to figure out basically how to basically we ramp up those things. But what we understand is maybe our ROI was not into it. So that's where we realized that no, this product is not pursuable after 1 year because we have spent a lot. It's better that it works in US. Let's stay in US, or completely dissolve and merge into a different product. So we dissolve the product and merge into a different product inside Microsoft itself. But what I realized is, yeah, everything doesn't works everywhere. Every design doesn't works in every environment. Even in country, according to laws, regulation, everything changes. So as a designer, it needs to be ensured. Also, one of the I think important thing we realized is because we are Microsoft and we are launching a product, and it's a student-based platform. One negative PR and it's a huge big deal. Lot of legal cases, because as soon as this big company have any small issue, definitely the PR blasts happen,
Agree.
even if it's a small issue which
Yep.
happens. So we realize that if a teacher tells something wrong to a student, or the student tells something wrong in the platform to a teacher, we are responsible. Even if we write lot of disclaimer and all that, we are not responsible, but still we'll be responsible in media. So I think considering all those factor into thing, we learned that yes, every business model doesn't work in every country. You
Agree.
need to consider those things. Nuances are there from a design, product, strategy point of view also. Also, ROI is very important just to understand why we shut down the project. It's not that we couldn't have gone through and changed the thing, but our ROI was not there. So we thought, what's there if the ROI is not present? Just to tell audience about ROI, stands for return of investment. So we like the effort we are putting from engineering, product, and the company point of view, we should be getting it back. If not, then it doesn't make sense for us to invest over there. So yeah, that's one of the failed project, but I think that helped because I was working on that project solely with the US team. It helped me learn a lot of design thing, about leadership presentable thing, because I presented to all the directors and everything. That helped me to basically get that kind of a confidence that to talk to a stakeholder, present it in front of stakeholder, understand what is important for them. It's not that you go with a full 10 pages research. Trust me, they don't have so much of time to see everything, but how do you basically concise and make it what is actionable for them, which is there. So yeah, I think that's one of the product which is very like gave me a great insight, always confidence also into it. So yeah, that's something which is there.
यू आर राइट. मेरा एक एक क्वेश्चन और है एआई से जाने से पहले, एक
Yeah.
ही इंपॉर्टेंट बात पे करते
Yes.
हैं.
Yes.
आई थिंक दिस इज़ अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन. आई
Yeah.
ये चीज़ के बारे में अक्सर मुझे लोग बोलते हैं, एंड आई नो यू आर समवन हुज कमिंग फ्रॉम दी दिस गुड कंपनीज जहाँ पे इनका वेटेज बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रखता है. सो एज यू सेड कि आर ओ आई, बिकॉज वो एक मेट्रिक्स है, राइट? यू नो एक मेट्रिक्स है
Yeah.
जिसको अगर मेट्रिक्स को अगर आप नहीं फॉलो करते हो तो वो इम्पैक्ट मालूम नहीं पड़ता है. वट इज़ माई नीड, यू नो, एज अ बिजनेस मैंने डिज़ाइन बना दिया, मैंने सब कुछ डिलीवर कर दिया, बट इफ इट्स देयर इज़ नो रिटर्न ऑफ इन दैट इन्वेस्टमेंट, देन व्हाट इज़ द पर्पस ऑफ
Yeah.
मेकिंग इट. और बहुत सारे बिजनेस प्रोस्पेक्टिव में ठीक है, यूज़र पता है, डेवलपमेंट पता है, बट अगर आप बिजनेस साइड पे देखोगे तो बिजनेस का सिर्फ ऐसा ही है, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस. बट बॉस मेरा
Yeah,
प्रॉफिट क्या
that
है,
makes sense.
इट डजंट केटर कि हाँ प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करी मैंने, बट मुझे भी उसके बदले में कुछ चाहिए. दैट्स हाउ बिजनेस इज. सो your understanding and your perception of these matrices, if you can tell for the freshers, बहुत सारे freshers को ये चीज़ नहीं पता था. मेरे पास भी बहुत क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, मैंने अपना वर्जन बताया है उन्हें. इफ़ यू कैन सेट सम लाइट ऑन दिस कि क्या
Yeah.
इंपॉर्टेंस है, क्या होता है, कितनी इंपॉर्टेंस है. नॉर्मल कंपनीज में तो होती है, मगर गूगल उसको किस तरह से देखता है, अमेजोन कैसे देखता है, या फिर माइक्रोसॉफ्ट
Yeah.
कैसे देखता है.
Yeah, I think metrics is being tracked very like religiously in these companies, because that defines a product is a success or not. Because that gives you a real data. You cannot fake around it. You cannot hypothesize around it. You cannot take 10 users interview and tell ki, okay, this will work, but their actual user is using, and that's how the data is being collected. Now, every company collect data in a different way. All of them have their own internal tools. It's not that we are using a very common tool like Microsoft. I know they have their own internal tool. Amazon also, Google also have their own internal tools. How it's being, so we every product before we start itself, we define this success metric. We call it success metrics. So before we basically launch the product, we tell that okay, we want to maybe get this much of impression, or we call DAO, daily active user, which is a common term in Microsoft. So we say that okay, we want to achieve this much of DAO by this month, or maybe in 6 months, and MAU, which is monthly active user. So it basically we talks in terms of active user, but again, it's change according to product, what kind of product you are working on, and what are the metrics, and that's how the PM is responsible for to define those things. And um, once we launch, we definitely track those. We try to see. It's not that in 1 month, if you don't achieve your metrics, we'll like, hey, shut down the product. It doesn't happen like that in this big company. What we do is we experiment, we change, we launch again, and try to figure out. We do a constant. We give a time to basically the product to settle in the market. It's not that a new product cannot just go viral in one day. It's not that every product can do that. So we give certain time, we give certain timeline, and see how is it growing or not. If I see after every month it's not growing, that gives me that there is something wrong, which is there in the product. If we see there is a steady growth or good growth, we try to figure out how to increase the growth exponentially. And as a product designer in this company, you are being kind of stitched into this kind of conversations also. It's not that once you deliver and development happen, I'm done. I'll just go and sit in other product and start working. It's not doesn't happen. It's a complete circle, we say, circle of product. Basically, after you launch also, you get the data. Again, you with that data, you start from the beginning. What exactly needs to be done based on that data. Now that data becomes your research. The data which comes from the live, and then you basically work on that research and whatever new feature, new improvement in the last feature, fixing something from the last feature, those kind of improvement. Um, so yeah, definitely, I would say sit with your PM, try to understand how this metrics works around the product. A lot of product designer thinks, why that's not my job. But it is. You need to understand. As I said, DAO MAO is a very common word, but we have complicated things inside matrices. So you sit with PM, try to understand how this calculated, because that will give you insight why this is not working, why this is not
Agree.
increasing, those
Agree.
kind of a thing. And then basically go back and fix it in your product and then again launch. So yeah, it's being valued very much across. I feel not only this kind of company, I know people in mid-level company also, Swiggy, Zomato, Blinkit, and it's heavily being tracked because that's how your company runs. And those metrics is like tomorrow, as you said, profit is important, definitely. Profit versus what you are investing, those kind of thing. I think वो रोड पे चाय वाला भी बेचेगा नहीं चाय if he is not getting a profit. That
Agree.
kind of a
Agree.
thing. So
Agree.
why this multinational company? Where your salary comes from? So yeah,
आई थिंक दिस इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट यू टोल्ड. इस पे ड्रिबल पे या फिर आपको ना आई थिंक मीडियम पे आपको आर्टिकल्स मिल जाएगा, वीडियोज उस पर ज़्यादा कोई नहीं बनाता बिकॉज इट्स नॉट दैट इंटरेस्टिंग टू टॉक अबाउट विद
yeah,
पीपल. बट आई थिंक एवरी डिज़ाइनर, चाहे वो जूनियर हो, सीनियर हो, मिड लेवल हो, मिड लेवल को चलो मिड लेवल से ऊपर वालों को थोड़ा समझ में आ जाता है क्योंकि उनके ऊपर भी कंस्ट्रेन आया था. उनके लिए अगर नया होगा तो दे आर गॉन फ्रॉम दैट पोजिशन.
yeah,
वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है बिकॉज एक जूनियर के लिए सही से एक डिज़ाइन का जजमेंट ये हो सकता है कि अच्छा मैंने कुछ अच्छा बना लिया है, उसके अलाइनमेंट्स रूल फॉलो करते हैं या डिज़ाइन सिस्टम फॉलो कर रहा है, दैट्स माई थिंग. बट दिस इज़ नॉट हाउ एग्जैक्टली इट वर्क्स व्हेन यू गो फ्रॉम लीड के ऊपर, लीड या लीड के ऊपर, बिकॉज आपके हाथ में बड़ी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आ जाती है. और बहुत सारी जगह पे मैंने देखा है कि अगर बहुत सारी जगह पे तो वैसे प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट भी नहीं आता, ये सब वर्बल कॉन्वर्सेशन हो जाती है कि आपको ऐसा कुछ बनाना है या 4 स्क्रीन बनानी है, 5 स्क्रीन आती है. मगर अगर आपके वहाँ पर एक डॉक्यूमेंटेड प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट आती है, ठीक है, उसके कुछ डॉक्यूमेंटेशन आते हैं, तो अगर उसके मेट्रिसेस भी उसके साथ अटैच होके आएंगे ना, तो आपको पता होगा कि आपको काम किस चीज़ पे करना है. वो डे वन
yeah,
पे होना चाहिए आपके पास मेट्रिसेस कि भाई मैं उस अलाइनमेंट पे जाना है मुझे, या मुझे ये अचीव करना है,
yes,
इस प्रोडक्ट से मेरा अचीवमेंट पॉइंट ये है. सो आपका डिज़ाइन करने का जो एजेंडा है या फिर जो स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट है या फिर जो लार्ज पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है, वो वहीं पर स्टिक करेगा. आप
yeah,
बहुत ज़्यादा यूआई पे शायद थोड़ा सा कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ करोगे, बट आप ज़्यादा फोकस कर पाओगे कि अच्छा मेरा मेट्रिसेस जो है वो फॉलो अप होने चाहिए. जैसे वेरी की स्मॉल स्मॉल थिंग्स विच मैटर्स अ लॉट, और वो बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस क्रिएट कर देते हैं क्योंकि लास्ट में वो जब कैलकुलेट करेगा तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए इज गोन सो वे मोर अपार्ट फ्रॉम
yeah.
वेयर वी स्टार्टेड. क्योंकि फिर
Where you
डेवलपमेंट,
started, yeah,
या सो दीज आर द वन फ्यू थिंग्स दैट पीपल शुड अंडरस्टैंड. आई थिंक अगर वो करते हैं तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. वो मेट्रिसेस का अगर नहीं है, इफ़ यू कैन रिकमेंड सब सोर्स रिसोर्सेज वे यू कैन.
yeah. I think best thing if somebody is starting and they are not basically into this company where they have this already inbuilt, is a Google Analytics. It's a very powerful tool which Google gives basically to again track the website related thing. Google have made it so easy that you just copy paste the URL into your code and just put it and it starts giving. But just go and understand what are the parameters it gives, why those parameters specifically, how do you set those. It gives you something called as funnel, which is about how a user navigating your website till the time they reach to the end. So why that matters. So I think that's a very easy public resource tool available. You can use it on a personal basis also. It's free of cost for certain
अग्री. अग्री.
level. So yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to try, definitely go and see how exactly those tools work. You'll get enough resources in YouTube about Google Analytics and how a designer use that for to fix the design.
Agree, agree. I understand these are the some tools actually are paid, and I think if they are available, they're also in Google. I think there's something called Heart, right? They use it,
Yeah.
and but people don't know because I think Google के website पे है जब where they say is
Mm.
design.google. दे मेंशन दैट देयर आई थिंक, बट उतना लेवल में मटेरियल डिज़ाइन भी कोई पढ़ता नहीं है,
Yeah.
सो आई
Yeah.
थिंक
Yeah.
वहाँ तक नहीं पहुँचेगा कोई। बट हाँ, ये पढ़ना बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि एक एक अच्छा डिज़ाइनर, यूएक्स डिज़ाइनर बनने के लिए, और एक बल्कि चंकी अगर पैकेज आपको उठाना है तो आई थिंक यही एक पैरामीटर है। उनको कुछ दोगे तो
Yeah.
तुमको कुछ मिलेगा, ठीक है।
तुमको कुछ मिलेगा।
So exactly is that. Now I think we covered this part of it. Now let's get into design and AI wala part. We'll talk
Yeah.
more about this one now. So first question is it, सारे बजवर्ड तो सुन लिए, अब बात करते हैं कि फॉर यू एज अ प्रोसेस, जहाँ तक आपने चीज़ों को देखा है, यू सीन गूगल में, चाहे माइक्रोसॉफ्ट में, चाहे अमेजोन में, थोड़ा सा इंसाइट आई वांटेड टू गेट इट, तो
Mm.
मेक प्लेस योर आंसर्स इन अ वेट कि जहाँ पर लोगों को थोड़ा सा यूजिबिलिटी समझ में आए कि अच्छा अच्छा ऐसा भी करा जा सकता
Yeah.
है कि। सो
Mm.
डिज़ाइन थिंकिंग की बात करते हैं, एक मैथडोलॉजी, एक फ्रेमवर्क, जहाँ पर यूआई वाले पार्ट को, प्रोटोटाइपिंग और सिर्फ आइडिएशन वाले पार्ट से पहले के जो स्टेजेस है, वहाँ पर यूआई कैसे काम कर रहा है इन योर सेंस।
Okay. Yeah. So, see, I'll just talk more about generic how our process is, more about how we have gone through this design processes. The thing is, I know market may we talk about 5 steps of product design and all. The problem is I don't remember, I don't follow.
Agree,
It's my
agree.
regular process. It became a habit right now for me, what I do. That's how it is. So technically, I see now, see, as a generic process, we see from a problem statement or a requirement coming from a PM team, or maybe we'll call as a client, anything like service based, product based again. And then we started first. So we don't jump into solution at the beginning. I think that's the most important thing people need to understand. Don't jump in the solution. Ask more questions around it. We try to figure out why this problem, what this problem, where this problem arise, what is the data around this problem, those kind of a thing. Why this is it a real problem or not? Like sometime
Agree.
we hallucinate on the problem. There is a something else problem. So technically, if I compare our job, it's slightly related to doctor. Like you go and just say that मेरा पेट दर्द हो रहा है. It will they will not give you the medicine of पेट दर्द, but they will try to analyze where exactly it can be some different problem also. So I feel
Agree, agree.
somehow we are related. Definitely, they have a much bigger responsibility. But yeah, somehow I'm relating that to a product design, that we don't directly jump on the solution because of the same reason.
Agree.
There can be different things inside. And that, how do you figure out that? That's called as secondary and primary research. This is the basic things we look. Now secondary research is pretty easy to do. It's based on online direct and indirect research which we do. Now it also depends on the what is the timeline of the project. Like if the timeline is very short, it's not that you are keep on doing research
Agree,
for
agree, agree.
3 months. It doesn't work at the same time. And then we basically move to primary research with some kind of interviews or talking to people, more of a, we say, quantitative versus qualitative. So quantitative works on more of a survey, qualitative works more of the interview, one-on-one interview. That gives us more of an insight to support our problem statement and figure out that what kind of solution we should take around, which is there. And from that, we basically start again in all these phases. We keep on loop the PM and the engineering team to understand at any point of time we should anticipate if there is a challenge in future. Like if you work in the silos, trust me, you work on the entire design, at the end engineering comes and like not possible, that kind of a thing. You have to go back and again work. So that's why it's very important in this industry that we keep them in loop on all those things. And then we start more on a brainstorming, understanding that do we really need a new product for this solution, or we already exist something. If there is a already existing product, we try to see how to scale it. It's not that every time you have to build a new product.
Agree.
To there can be there, that's why we call it scalability thing. So we figure out those things. If we find okay, we definitely need a new product, or we're building a new product, that's the problem statement. Then we definitely work into more of a pen and paper, try to brainstorm of the PM that what exactly needs to be done. Definitely there are nuances like user flow, information architecture, the basic things which is there. Uh, from that, we definitely work on a more of a wireframing, talk with the PM and try to understand whether they are also aligned to this kind of a thing or not. Because that's where we start getting more of a feedback. No, we don't think this can be the user flow. We think this should be the step taken by the user. Those kind of thing. That kind of an interview. So it's not that user flow you always define. It's a team effort of defining a
Agree.
user flow, how exactly it needs to be done. So from that, we basically go more into visual design, where basically, so again, as I said, visual design, we don't define all the buttons and all, because all these company have their own design system. We need to follow one of them. Now again, that is for consistency, scalability, lot of thing which is there. Also, as I said, reusability, because engineer doesn't have to develop the button again and again in the process. They just copy from the library, that kind of a thing. And from that, we go to usability testing sometime, because when you have designed it, we
Agree.
want to get a feedback, rather than developing the entire product and then getting feedback. We try to figure out what's the early feedback around it. uh, Again, during all the process, we do present to our stakeholders how it's there, which is present. And then from that, basically, if we get a usability testing result, we again fix it. Now, as I said, these companies are very much into accessibility things, so we have to like basically work on accessibility before we hand over even to dev. Now, accessibility, a lot of people think around that it's contrast, font, and all. No, these are basic things. Accessibility, when I talk, it's more about how do you only navigate with keyboard without a mouse, those kind of things. How a screen reader reads the entire screen. As a designer, we need to define those kind of things, and it's very important, because accessibility is always being misjudged as it's only the contrast you are seeing.
Agree. Agree.
Because these are basic things, like you can fix it. There are a lot of tools in Figma. Font, because we are using from the design system, most of the thing is already accessibility
Agree.
compliance because you are using from design system. But how do you navigate through a keyboard? How a screen reader reads? Is it easy to reach to the task by using tabs only? Those kind of things. Screen, zoom screen. We check till 400% zoom in a web. So 400% zoom is equivalent to 320 cross 640 screen, which
Okay.
is like a small mobile screen for a website. So we need to ensure that at that screen also somebody can use. The
Agree.
question is, who does zoom at 400%? People do zoom at 200%, not maybe 400%, but we want to ensure that we cater to every audience. So that's why we call it accessible design. Health is a health kind of a thing for them. So do not use those kind of things. And these are part of accessibility. We need to ensure before we hand over. And then we definitely hand over to developer. Then we think our job is done. But no, that's where the real job starts for you, because then you have to sit with the developer for all the problems which they came across. You have to figure out a solution. There are things which doesn't works in actual development, looks very good in Figma, and also maybe we do a walkthrough also with developer, and maybe they say, okay, yes, this is fine. But sometimes what happens is it doesn't works actually when they start coding in the real life. So we have to figure out a alternative path, without compromising the actual design, which is there. So that's the most difficult part, which as a designer you will
Agree.
come across.
Been this.
So yeah, so that's why it's better that you basically tied up with the developer, try to understand where exactly it's facing issues and those kind of thing. Also, what happens is we have definitely in this company the front end specialist we call design engineers, who are basically specialized in seeing exactly Figma versus the real one. But we do not have that resources, a lot of those resources in all these companies. So sometime maybe a backend developer or just a front end developer is coding your screen.
Agree.
So they are may not aware of that 1 pixel or 2 pixel gap which you can see as a designer.
Basically, the bootstraps phenomena is if it don't go hand in hand with
Yeah.
the Figma, because I think bootstrap
Yes.
is, I think initially when we started design on, the websites and all, I think that's a must for everyone to understand this one. But
Yeah.
in case the
Yeah.
people who are starting from the Figma level, for most of them, it's the grid rules are there, but I think they don't understand how exactly the bootstrap works. So वो पता
Yeah.
होना ये point system how exactly that works, that's important.
Yes. So I was saying like you need to understand. We talked about a lot of grid system, and Figma is very much right now accessible for a developer also. The only thing which I feel is it's like for us it looks very easy because it's a day-to-day work for us in working into Figma. For a developer maybe it's not. So it is important to also educate them at the same time that okay, that 10 pixel gap really matters for us, because for them okay, it's okay, 10 pixel gap, that kind of a thing. Again, it's a give and learn kind of a give and take kind of a concept which comes. Basically you are teaching them and they will also let you know what exactly is an issue from a dev point of view. That's there. And once you basically work around it, we launch it. So in Microsoft we used to call it as a flight, which is more of a beta release, and
Okay.
then we set it for a control audience, like 20% of the audience will see this new experience, and then we get a feedback around it, and we have a very strict parameter. So
Okay.
what happens is if you don't pass those parameter, your feature will never go to life, which is
Okay.
there. And it is the system generated parameters, like from a performance point of view, as we talked initially,
Okay.
that it needs to be in this much of milliseconds only. It needs to be go in that much of millisecond. There should be less number of errors or 404 pages, those kind of a thing. So there are set parameters. If you pass, then only it will go live. Otherwise, you have to take an exception from a VP level, that kind of a thing.
Okay.
That if you still want to ship the product, we call ship after that.
Agree.
So it is very important. The standards are already being fixed that half baked thing cannot go, or something which already have an issue. And that's where basically it goes to actual audience, and then the metrics and the cycle keeps on back again. So yeah, that's the kind of overall process which follows same across most of the company. Not a lot of thing has been changed. Nuances can keep on changing, but yeah, that's the process which is there.
Agree. Means that's a very great talk on this one, because our part after designing gets more crucial. And I think
Yeah,
when we say is that, oh, our design is done, is we won it. No, till the time it goes shipped, or go live on a production level, it's not done,
yeah,
because it will come reiterated. So what exactly I do usually, and this is I think in a standard practice, that I always we I think always keep 20% margin even for iteration level. It's open
yeah,
for if it goes to development after designing, because if they found something is not working till the 20%, in respect to PM and all those stakeholders that understand that things can change, or flows a little bit flows can be changed, because might be the tech is not going to support, it's going to take a lot of
yeah,
load, whatever thing is there, even a server level, it can be n number of things. We are still open to iterate it 20% even after the dev is while the dev is going on. That is a very nice way that how you put it, and is very insightful, lovely. I have to get it. But do you put, I just want to understand more about this, that how these are the more traditional path that we are following since we
yes, yeah,
started about the product design. How in today's era, like how we putting the AI intervention in
yes,
these
yeah.
part, like if we talk
I
about.
think yeah, that's a very good question. So see, the process remains same. Now what happens is AI is stitched into each and every level, how it's there. So for example, I told you about the problem statement, we brainstorm, that's fine. And after that, we talked about research. Secondary research used to be very manual previously. Like you go
Okay.
to each of the website, find out an article, do a Google search. Now that can be achieved in like fraction of minute or second using a kind of a AI,
Mm-hmm.
which is there. So you go there because you are finding out articles now. You are not asking to generate a AI's based answer. No, you are just asking, okay, can you find me article around, for example, I'm taking a food delivery app, that, hey, can you find me all the food delivery app which is there in the market and what is the sentiments of user into it. That's a very basic prompt engineering. Now, I talked about prompt engineering. Prompt engineering will you will hear a lot nowadays. It is very important for a designer also to have understanding about what prompt engineering
Agree.
is, how basically you can learn, not very, like kind of a basic. I'm not saying go very advanced, but you need to understand how to do your job with the prompt engineering, because that's important to generate the answer.
Agree.
Otherwise, you'll generate some random answer, those kind of a thing. So secondary research, like a lot of people know about competitive analysis like we used to do. Now I remember there was a time when we have food delivery app. I will install Swiggy, I will install Zomato, I'll
Mm-hmm.
go through
Agree,
each
agree,
of the app and write down tick mark and all those things.
agree.
Now GPT can do the same thing for me at the same time. That what are the features which is already present. What I need to do is just revalidate it, because as I said, I don't blindly believe on
Agree,
AI.
agree. It
It
might
can
get
come and say that
hallucination.
XYZ.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Might get hallucination, or maybe some article it read about that something is going to cover. Some user have
agree.
wrote about something. It pulled that data and showed it. That's
Also,
possible.
it's very important, I think, for the GPT till now. I don't know now how it's gonna take next. Perplexity is now start scraping the web, so the live
Yes.
data, but the GPT don't do that
Yeah.
till now because they don't have the access
Okay.
to the current data. So you also have to check the version we are talking about of the application that
Yes,
we are
correct. Uh,
seeking.
that's a perfect point. So what I use the paid version of GPT. What it happens is, what I have noticed is it says that I have a data of past. Technically,
Hmm.
it have a data of
Agree.
like present also. What exactly you talked about is a very important point, and that's a part of prompt engineering. That whenever you are writing a prompt, ensure that you add that whenever you give me answer as the AI, please do add the source, and it is important. Now all the AI have started giving source where basically it picked that data from. Previously, if you remember, I think 2 years back, we used to just generate the answer that this is the answer.
Agree.
Now the source started mentioning, because that gives a credibility. Now when I do also research, a very basic thing I write with every prompt is, whenever you generate the answer, make sure to add source with each of the answer. That gives me from which article it picked
Hmm.
and told me that okay, this feature is present, so that I can revalidate if there is anything wrong, that hey, this article it's written, it's not that. That is also a way to ensure that your AI is not hallucinating, or putting a data which is just one of 100 data, that kind of a thing. If some point is based on the Reddit article, I manually go and check, because Reddit may one person can write anything,
Agree.
and it just picked that data. So I just revalidate if that's something generic or not. So
Agree.
yeah, that's very important, because secondary research also, when we put it in our, for example, presentable format, we do mention the source of where the secondary research comes from. And then the competitive analysis also reduced. So it used to take 5 6 days previously to do a competitive analysis,
Hmm.
check each and
Agree.
now maybe hardly 2 hours, that kind of thing. That's how the AI is plugged into research. That's the first part when I talked about secondary research. Now coming to a primary research. Yesterday I was giving a talk and I showed a lot of tool around it. Primary research wherein. So there is something called as okay, it's called as loop panel. What
Loop
it
N.
does is loop panel,
Loop panel.
LOOPPANEL panel.
Loop
So
panel.
uh, yeah. So what it does is it's used for a one-on-one, like primary research, like one-on-one interview. But how it's different is you use this tool. It syncs with your, for example, Google Calendar, and you take, for example, we are doing a
Hmm.
conversation, right? And we are doing a one-on-one interview with the user. Uh, it records everything in the entire lifetime, whatever the interview I did, and it generates a transcript but in a better format. Like when you asked me a question, it generates the question, and the answer I gave, it generated the answer. So it generates the transcript in a question answer format, which I needed as a researcher, right?
Agree.
Definitely. Now previously what I used to do is I used to take the transcript or go through the entire video again, and then basically sit and figure out what answer the person have given, what is there.
Agree.
uh, then as a researcher, what I also do is I need to sometimes clip the answer and put it for a kind of a presentation or case study, whatever it is. This tool do that automatically. Now you tell that, hey, from this portion to this portion I want to clip it. It clips and gives you that single portion. So technically you don't have to download the entire video,
Agree.
put it in some software, crop it, those kind of a thing, which is there. Also it generates insights that hey, this
Okay.
person
Okay.
have talked about this. Is more of a summarization, which even teams can do with a conversation. Even if you activate Gemini in Google, this Meet,
Okay.
that can also generate, which is there. So that helps me to reduce all my manual effort. Now I focus more into what's the insight came from the interview, how do I position those insight, what people talked about, yeah, all those kind of a thing which is there. Now from primary research I use the AI and basically synthesize the data. Now from that, what basically AI can help me also to generate a structure of presenting the data. For example, I want to present the data to a PM. I want to present the data to a stakeholders. Now the question is, as a product designer, I don't want to spend too much time in understanding how the slide can be presented, how the storytelling, too much
Agree,
things
agree.
around it. So I can again optimize my space over there. That help me to structure this and present. And then I put my thoughts. Okay, this is something a basic structure. Now I put my structure in. So I have certain canvas already to start technically. And from there, when we start on wireframe, before wireframe, a lot of people do mood boarding, right? Now,
Hmm.
Mid Journey and Chat GPT is amazing in terms of mood boarding. I have certain videos also around it where basically you put a, for example, you see a website and like, this is a kind of a mood board I want to create. You put the link of that website and ask to generate 10 images around it. It generates. So now mood boarding is easier for you. Now,
Agree.
previously, I used to go to print test, search for each
Hmm.
of the
Agree,
website,
agree.
something I like, something don't like. So it's a huge effort. So now you have reduced the time in mood boarding also, which is there. Now, from mood boarding you go to definitely wireframing and visual design. That I feel it's still AI have not so much have
Agree.
entered into it, but I don't know, a lot of people have seen Figma's new AI prompt based
Hmm.
design which is there. I think that will help somehow, because that helps you to generate empty state and those kind of thing when
Agree,
things are
agree,
already
agree.
done. But at the end we are using design system, right? I don't think it will be generating the UI completely. It will help you. So right now we start with a blank canvas. 1 year down the line we'll start with already created canvas. That's
Hmm.
the
Agree,
difference with
agree,
a
agree.
how it's there. And then from that we do a usability testing, like A/B testing and all kind of a thing. So there is a tool called as Clarity UX, which is a plugin in Figma also, as well as they have website. There are certain free things. It's a freemium tool kind of a thing. You get more insight. So what it does is basically you have to design, select those design, and you just run the test. It's more of a A/B testing.
Hmm.
What you said, it basically run the same design based on the previously synthesized data.
Okay.
Now the company have captured lot of A/B testing data from past, how the eye tracking goes on, those kind of a thing, how
Okay.
it exactly works, and it gives you detail around heat mapping, eye tracking without a real user. So basically, even before you go to a real user, you get some basic insight. Again, I tell that these are not perfect yet. These are the helpful tools to basically use certain part. So that helps you to basically get those kind of a detail around it. And once you get that, then you basically figure out that what exactly user I want to go, and what are the minimum bare minimum things I have seen evidently wrong before I even do a A/B testing, which is again a price to do
Agree.
that kind of a thing. And from A/B testing, I think it's more of a development phase where again Figma is experimenting with AI to directly from design to certain
Agree.
level of code,
Hmm.
which is there. So that's definitely come into picture. It's not very popular right now, but I know in future it will
I
come.
think
Some
translation,
components
with the translation of very basic languages there. For the basic, I
get
think
it
there is
from there.
a translation of a translation. Done it on a
Yes, correct.
HTML,
Yeah,
then you convert again for the React or the for the language that you're making
correct.
for.
Yeah,
I think they
yeah.
are doing it.
The only part is because we use a design system already, which is pre-built. So for a developer, if they see a button, they directly pull from the library rather than
Agree.
they want to
Agree.
code. When you go to a smaller company, definitely it helps because there is no design system. You're creating something. That's where we basically help those things. Take the HTML, CSS. CSS is important rather than HTML. I feel CSS is the most important part
Hmm.
where
Agree.
people don't know what is the border radius and those kind of things. Just copy paste and put it. So that's
Agree.
also where the AI helps it. And when you basically release the product, you can integrate your AI to basically when we talked about metrics, right? As I and we talked about that a lot of people don't know how to read the metrics. I think AI helps over there to analyze and figure out. I know one of the great example is Wix. Wix have
Ah,
recently
agree.
launched something called as AI based design, which is called as, I think, artificial design intelligence. And what it exactly does for a small business owner is to launch your website and then capture all these matrices, like what's the click rate and what's the bounce rate, 50 different things for their website, and suggest that, hey, I feel you should add a blog, or you should add a gallery, or you should add this XYZ. So I think that's more insightful. Otherwise, if you show a bounce rate to a businessman, I don't know how they will react to it. Like,
Agree.
what should I do with this bounce rate? So now AI is making it more insightful. That okay, bounce rate. What is the solution to a bounce rate? Because it's again based on the previous data. People have fixed it, and there are articles around it. So add a block kind of a thing. So that's where again AI is plugged into. So yeah, I think every step, if you see, I talked about AI being plugged in.
Agree.
It is basically optimizing your speed. So now, previously, if a product launch takes 6 months, now it, with the help of AI, it will take hardly maybe 2 months or 3 months kind of a thing. That's the impact, and in future it will reduce even more, which is there. But if you see, everywhere the product designers or a PMs or a developers requirement is definitely there. It's not eliminating, it's basically helping you to work at a 10x speed.
Agree.
That's
Agree.
the thing. um, Trust me, I have like, it's I have seen AI being launched from the beginning. I have not seen our workforce being reduced so drastically because of, just because that I want to replace somebody with AI. It hardly I have seen that. What I have seen is that if you're not up to the trend, if you're not know how to use the AI in your day-to-day work, maybe you are being replaced by somebody who knows it.
Agree.
That's the
Totally
thing.
agree.
So that's where the future replacement looks like. AI is not going to replace you, but somebody, a human
Who
plus
know?
AI is going to replace you. That's
It's all
that's
about,
the
I
main
think,
thing.
the AI literacy right now.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
you say that how much you are aware about the thing AI, how exactly it works, what is the tool you can complement your work with. The more questions I have, since this is the traditional part of it, how exactly we have to, current design phenomena, how we can change it. Want to talk about a bit future. So
Yeah.
we have designs like for the web applications, we have the application for the mobile. I want to talk about some screen and high tech ones, which is soon. There's a lot of work going on, right?
Yes. Definitely.
Already, and the VR, AR, and MR is already there. The
Yeah.
Vision Pro is already. I think वो Meta का जो glasses है with the collaboration with the Ray-Ban is already there, and they have this devices which have these screenless experience. At the same time, VUX is already there. Visual voice user experience is already there. सो गेम में हमने मेटा के ग्लासेस लगा के बहुत सारी चीज़ें देख ली हैं. उनके बारे में व्हाट यू हैव द थॉट इन योर हेड, क्या सोचते हो उसके बारे में, एंड
Yeah.
हाउ एग्जैक्टली वी.
I think the biggest canvas is this, which is there, and it's an emerging canvas. Maybe I wear a spec. That's why I realized that, yeah, that's the best canvas I have, because I am wearing a spec, and is the most easiest thing to use. Right now, all the tech have a heavy thing, laptop, a screen, or a desktop. VR, I personally used it. The only thing I don't like about VR is it's too heavy for me,
Agree.
and I'm using it, even if it gives me a lot of reality, but it doesn't gives me a feeling that I am in my natural habitat and still using the tech.
Agree.
Whereas
Agree.
my glasses gives, so I saw definitely the Meta, the new one which they released, where in the screen they have, see, with camera, with voice, definitely it's been from a very long time which is there in the market. But now on the glasses, showcasing different kind of screen, even Google launched it in this year, Google glasses, which is more about showing different things in your glasses
Agree.
itself,
Agree. Agree.
and that basically comes under the mixed reality,
Okay.
which is
Yes.
present.
MR.
But if you see, that's my natural habitat. Like I'm wearing a glass which is there, but You don't wear a glass, but you can wear a sunglass. That is a natural thing for you. Adding a VR thing is an extra, like an effort or an
Agree,
extra device
agree,
you are
agree,
wearing. So I think the future is more towards where you put tech into a natural habitat, which is there.
agree.
Like I do daily tasks like this only. So how can I put a tech into it? So I think glasses is a very good starting point. I don't know tomorrow what exactly, maybe without glasses also I can see in the mixed reality, maybe with some device or something else in the air. That's possible. How the tech is evolving, which is there. The only thing which is concerning for me also is how a privacy and things like this is
Agree.
being taken
Brilliant
care of.
point.
Because one of my friend have a meta glass, and he visited, like he wear that in office. And my question is, I understand you can control the camera and all, but my question is, if somebody hack, or is there anything, like they say that if the camera is on, there is a light which is there.
Agree.
I said, that much mechanics I also know. You can switch off the light and still open the camera. That's not a big deal to do it in the back end. So if somebody does it, then that means they can see what you see. So
Agree.
technically, for example, I'm seeing my screen. I can see all your Figma file. I can see everything. And now from a privacy concern, because you wear these glasses for the entire day, your entire life, your entire private life is now been recorded. It's
Agree.
possible, which
Agree.
is there. So I don't know. And maybe tomorrow trained on it. Um, right now we have talked about technically lot of images, morphed images, AI. Literally, I used my personally different and looked exact same. And people started creating videos also. Now people have recorded your video. They know how do you talk, what's your behavior also. So
Agree.
technically,
Agree.
you is being replaced. What is there
Yes.
as AI? So the question is, how do they? I know this company definitely work on a lot of things around privacy and concern, because we know a lot of AI tool, which so we talk, like we have heard a lot of thing about AI agent, which basically do a task on your behalf. But the question is how much it knows. For example,
Agree.
you are
Agree.
doing a banking website. It knows now your password, your user ID. Tomorrow your bank account is getting like gone. Whom should you complain? Like go to a cyber cell and tell who have taken your money. Nobody knows. There is an AI. But where should I file and complain? Who should be accountable for? So yeah, there is a lot of work going on around privacy and policy, and hopefully in future I feel this company who comes with tech and all do consider those things and be a very strict around those kind of a thing, because when you put it into a natural habitat, the privacy concern is a very important thing across those segments. So as soon as I don't know, I have a cover in my laptop camera also. It's
Agree.
not today, but it's from a very long time, because
Same.
I
Same.
don't know, I get scared. So I keep on keeping that off as soon as I don't use it. Even if the light, I know the Mac have a light,
Agree.
but
Agree.
I don't
I
trust
don't
so
believe.
much
I'll tell
because
you
camera is on.
one incident, that's
Mhm.
very ridiculous actually. And I'm very aware. I know somehow that these devices are actually taking my data somehow. This app, clicking. There's a lot of people who already posted some videos there where
Yeah.
you see the iPhone, it blinks, it captures.
Yes.
So if
Yes.
you see in a particular camera setting, it says okay that has been taken. But I was get very amazed, so I generated this my image through the AI, and I just given my face, right? My feeds, and I haven't put it any data regarding my feet, and my feet is
But it generated.
exactly the same. I have a one
Yeah.
mark in my right feet. It was there, and I
Yeah.
was
So
surprised. I
yeah.
was so surprised. Like I know somehow the back in the mind, I know ki my phone is already taking all this data. Is know how exactly I looks. Even it's just the physicality I'm talking about. It know about my environment, how I gets
Yeah.
into my home, who are the people who are living in my home, and what kind of credit card I use, what kind of products I use. So
Yeah.
I know the Meta have a
Yeah, the
bad reputation
personality, I
already.
think the personality is already present.
Yeah.
Also, what we see is like we talked about the laptop camera being closed. I don't know, people don't know, but mobile is present from a very long time. This three camera, it's always open. You never know
Agree,
what
agree.
it's capturing.
There's a one report.
So
There's a one report regarding if you switch off your even a camera or any other devices. So your Wi-Fi router
Yeah.
have a
Mm.
capability adds it's like more of a sonar thing, like the bats do. It's echoes throw and come back. It's a
Yeah.
signal, definitely. Whatever
Yes.
hinder
Yes.
it's, you make the certain image out of it, so it knows this someone's present on the movement is there or not. So things are
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I think they
Yes.
I saw
Definitely.
this movie when I was young. I think the name is, I forgot the name of it, but there's a series of from by Jonathan Nolan, Christopher Nolan's brother. It's
Mm.
called Westworld.
Mm.
So what exactly
Okay.
they capture the real persona of a person, and they put it
Person.
into a
Mm.
amusement park or some kind of sanctuary kind
Mm.
of structure.
Yeah.
They put the and they want to see how uh, you know e- extreme behavior. They want to see the extreme behavior of a human. So
Yeah.
they give you that hat. That hat sits on your head throughout the your experience in the park. It captures all your information, how you talk, how you feel, how
Information.
you give,
Yeah.
and all, and it creates a persona of you. Then there's a robotic part of you, a robotic body, and they just switch your memory from there to there, so you live.
Yeah. I yeah, I think that's where the security comes. And I know this company is working a lot under the security and privacy thing. And hopefully it will go better and better with different kind of a product like glasses and all. But yeah, that's the future I see in terms of tech, that you have it in a glasses or nothing. You still see a screen, that kind of a situation.
Have you made ever a physical product?
No, I am not a. I have not never made a physical product yet. I am completely into product design.
So
And I know people who have made physical product, and I know that's a very interesting segment again at
I
the same
know.
time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not specialized in physical product at all.
So you know why I'm asked this question? matlab, I was interested to do these things. Means I'm very very, but I'm not exactly the professionally I do that, but it's my very expensive hobby. So I like making furnitures and all those things. So a lot of the
Oh,
furnitures I make
nice.
it because it takes a lot of. I actually make the very modular ones, which take like for
Oh,
this particular space. How can I just fit it in? And it works.
mm,
It's more like a foldable stuff. Like gets into the small
got it.
section of it, but gives the exact experience of it. I'm very keen to do this, and this is how exactly started in my whole life and get into it. But why I'm asking this one, because I think the robotics get somehow get with the steroids on it, and it's gone boosted up more. So
Yeah.
who are the people who gets the product design in, like the product physical product design is again into a place. So if you got a chance in
Yes.
future, AI definitely gonna help you off with that. It's more like a Tony Stark stuff, right? Where the make
Yeah.
and take things, software and hardware at the same time. So what do you think? What is your prospect? Do you want to get into
Yeah.
that alignment or not?
Yeah, I think if you talk about physical product design, one of my dream is to work for Lego physical product design.
Ah,
If
that's
you just
nice.
ask, that's there. I know it's not there in India, but I have always looked up to them. Not because I know AI somebody else will work definitely, but how they work on actual physical product is really impressive. I have couple of set which is like controlled from my phone, but it's Lego, using Lego motors and all. I can drive a actual car with the help of my mobile because there are motors, Lego motors inside it, which I fit. So yeah,
Oh.
these are some amazing thing. How a two block, how much pressure you put so that it fixed, how much pressure you take to take it out. How the mechanics work, how engine. So I have lot of cars into my house of Lego cars, kind of a thing, which have mechanics into it. There is a McLaren P1 which engine
Hmm.
simulates the actual engine. The piston moves inside it, and it's exactly in the same way how an actual McLaren car works.
Oh.
So yeah, that kind of model. So I feel like that's, I don't know how they have built those kind of a thing, which is there, but yeah, it's really impressive. I recently had something called as Bumblebee car,
Okay.
the Transformer one,
Yeah.
where
Yeah. Yeah.
basically the car the actual car converts to actual Bumblebee with Lego. Without opening the
Yeah.
pieces, it has
Okay.
mechanics into it. So yeah, these are very interesting part. I know AI is there in the world. I am working into it. Maybe that's why I'm not so much of fascinated about it. But if you talk about physical product, that's where I wanted to definitely give a hand on and see how exactly this things works and how's the mindset to basically create that. What's the logic around it? So yeah,
I'm just very curious about this. Is one of those things I think we should chat more often about these things,
yeah,
because it sounds like an amazing thing. You have the taste for that also. So even I think that makes more coffee. Talking over this one.
yeah. So
But
I recently got a Ducati Panigale V4 bike of Lego. I have not built it yet. It's a pretty big box, but there you can shift the engine and
what?
the tire speed change according to it. So yeah, these are
Whoa.
like fascinating things. So for me,
Meaning, the most curious part about these things, because they are the miniature model, the scale
yeah,
model of it,
exactly. It's
and
a
how
1/6
they,
model scale.
yeah, and you can see the what is the capacity, or the advancement. So they
Yes,
made a real bike in a certain size, but they
yes,
know if they want to make it for a small scale, exactly works as the same. So they can fit
yeah.
those things into more smaller size.
Compact space, yeah.
So
Actually, Lego team actually worked with the Ducati team to build that. So there is a real mechanics
agree,
involved
bro.
over there. What
This
happened in
is
actual bike versus the what exactly happens in
That's a very
Lego.
fascinating UX part of it, bro. This
Yeah.
is.
So yeah, it's a very bigger world again. Another world of UX. How those things comes into picture.
I always get fascinated. I told you about this. There's a. I'm always very keen about this Scandinavian design, even the IKEA and all those technologies. I've
Yeah.
always been fascinated because because computers comes early in 80s. Before that is all physical. So I seen a lot of there's a designer at, I think it's Scandinavian or German designer. It's called Dieter, and whatever you see is the iPhone right now, he made similar things before 80s. Very
Yeah.
similar design, very similar set, and then televisions look the same as the iMac do.
Yes.
The calculators look like the iPhones do, right? So very similar concept with a very different thing. Even the color schemes are the same: the gray, the whites, the black,
Mm,
the basic ones,
mm.
the neutrals,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful. And I was very
Yeah.
curious. They have this alignment paddings, and those disciplines were there at that time. Now the
Mm-hmm.
people get
Yeah.
very irresponsible towards, like, you put it there. I always says
Yes.
that the design is the complexity, and the experience is not about the big things. It that small
Yes.
nuances
Small
and
thing.
small things where it makes or breaks your design. Very small discipline that you have to create.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. So it's more about the Google part of it that everybody want to know, that what does the
Okay.
Google really look for in a UX designer during the hiring process, beyond just polished portfolio.
Okay. Yeah, as you said, first is the polished portfolio, which is already there, definitely. And then the secondary skill set, which we talked about. How do you know AI to be used? How do you know motions, or maybe like these are extra skills. But I'm not saying that everybody have to learn motion. You find your niche into it. That what exactly excites you after design. Like it can be somebody for vibe coding for somebody. It can be motion for somebody. It can be micro interaction for somebody wants to edit videos. That's a added skill set. The second thing, the third thing which I say is collaboration. How well you are collaborating with your PM engineers in your team. How have you plugged in into your entire design process? So when you present your case study in an interview, it is important to touch upon the base that wherever you have included them in decision making, wherever you have taken their opinion. It's not that you are working in silo. Some people present the case study right away, like front to end kind of a thing, like in one go. No, it doesn't work like this. It's a storytelling. You should present it that this is what you have done, how you have plugged in your engineering and feedback came from them, and how you have changed your design. That's what we wanted to see, which is there. And I think four important thing is more of a cultural fit. What we now see, this interviewer who actually comes over there have a lot of experience when they take in Google. I think I have given 7 rounds completely,
Okay.
and like all the people who have taken have a great experience into Google plus into different industries previous to them. So they look into more of a cultural fit. That means what's your mindset? They look into mindset that are you open to learning? Are you open to collaboration? Because I will put you in a team of 10, right? And if you are a person who don't want to collaborate, then you will be impacting nine other people in the team.
Hmm.
I don't want that to be happen. So that's important, which is there. So we do look into those things as a kind of a interviewer in this kind of a company. This is the four main aspect. What you have worked on previous product and those kind of a thing. So yeah, I think whole together this is a package which is present. And some people can say that after giving all this thing also I didn't get selected. Maybe somebody came with is a similar package and maybe a slight better edge. That's possible, but that doesn't defines that your thing was bad. I always say rejection doesn't mean that it's always that your portfolio is bad. It's maybe somebody else is better than us.
Okay,
That's it.
makes sense.
That's the difference which I feel.
So one thing that you said, like the polished portfolio, what are the ingredients of that polished portfolio in your sense? If somebody
Yeah.
want to start it
Mm,
to make create a
yeah.
portfolio and have the aim to get into Microsoft and Google as a company, what is the
Yeah.
ingredients that you suggest?
Yeah, I think what we talked about, the entire design phase we talked about, that's a bare minimum we want to see. Because from a research to a visual design to wireframing and maybe usability testing, those kind of a thing, that's a bare minimum which I see. I feel there will be never be a polished portfolio. I still my portfolio like there is a
Agree,
problem in
agree,
this.
agree.
It's for a designer. I think if you feel it's a polished portfolio, then you have stopped understanding the gap. So it will never be. So what I say is go with the bare minimum, accept the feedbacks from different places. That's why I say before you go and jump into this big company's interview, first give lot of interviews in a different company, small scale, mid scale, because that's a good platform to also get feedback on your portfolio.
Ah,
Because there will be real feedback. Because
agree,
somebody is
agree.
hiring you, they will not be scared to give you a feedback on your portfolio because they're hiring, they will pay you. So accept those feedback, ensure in the next interview you don't get the same feedback which is there, fix
Agree.
those. And there will be some point where you will achieve 90% of it and 10% is fine. What we also see in an interview when we see case studies, how much you are open to accept a feedback.
Ah,
Everything I
okay.
tell, hey, there is an improvement, and you come back and say me, no, 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 this is work because of XYZ reason. I feel you are very much into that zone where you don't want to accept feedback. It's not that you can achieve everything. It's fine. You should accept, okay, maybe I have not done it during the actual phase, but that's a good feedback, and I can work around it next project which I work on. And that's fine. Just go on with it. So ensure that not every feedback should be pushed back and not every feedback should be accepted also. If you feel that you have a counter, you have a data driven decisions made, you should definitely tell them that, hey, I took that decision because of this data around it which is there. So yeah, it's both the side, and that's how a polished portfolio looks like when we say. But if you're looking for a perfect portfolio, it will never come into picture, definitely. But these are the things we look around
Okay.
in the interview. How do you say? Polished portfolio is also part of how do you present your case study. Presenting is a skill set again
Agree. Agree.
for a product designer. How do you tell a story? If you read me through the case study, the problem is I can anyways read you without you also, right? I get the
Hmm.
case study from you, I'll read at my home.
Yeah.
Why do I need you? So I want you to tell me a story of how exactly this product has been designed. And that's where I'm interested in, which is there. So yeah, that's how a portfolio should look like.
Is a one question that I have personally for you
Yeah.
is um, like how vast in terms of projects and
Mm,
portfolios you can go. What exactly I meant by that,
mm,
like suppose someone I'm talking about not that everyone is doing it. Like suppose everybody, if you
mm,
see the most common examples I see, like Zomato's replica
mm.
someone is making and all those things.
Yeah.
If you someone's showing something which is way more advanced and things, so it gets goes
Mm,
as a like compliment even from touching that thing, or very
mm,
small project like a Zomato but in a very good
mm,
presentable way. It's
mm,
how exactly the view of an interviewer for both of
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
projects?
So again, there is two part to it. One is a person who is giving without an experience an interview, and a person with an experience giving an interview. When you are giving an like, let's talk about somebody who already have an experience into industry and giving an interview. Then my sole point of looking into is what exactly you have worked on in the past company. You cannot come and tell me, okay, Amazon website looks bad, so I created this. I have seen a lot of case study around it. The problem for me is there are hundreds of designers sitting in Amazon. It's not that they don't know design. They know amazing designs. There are reasons to make those designs.
Agree,
So
agree,
basically, when you work on those kind of project, the problem is you don't know the constraints they have worked on. And constraint is an important part of a product
agree,
design,
agree.
which is there. So that's why hypothetical case study doesn't works when you have an experience. I always say that first work on whatever product you have worked on, and showcase that. That's now goes for a person who have experience. Now coming to person who doesn't have experience and fresh out of college, then take a case study, do a thorough end-to-end kind of a presentation rather than working on something that future may, in Figma all the designs will automatically be created. I'll talk with Figma and Figma will create. I don't want to see that. Maybe I want to see more of how do you know basis of product design? Do you know about research? Do you know
Agree.
about visual design? Do you know how to use design system? Or for example, usability testing? Those kind of basic things. Do you know how to collaborate with different team people around it, that kind of a thing. So don't come with very hypothetical case study, or you don't have to redesign also Zomato. Like you can just take a very small problem statement and create your own thing which is there. So it's that kind of a thing. If I want to see a redesign of Zomato, I'll call a person who is already working in Zomato and ask their case study, that kind of a thing. So yeah, take case study which is meaningful to you. That is important, first of all, and make meaning to the interviewer also with your case study. Don't randomly say that I redesigned because it doesn't look good. There are hundreds of designers sitting
Agree.
over there. So yeah, that's the base of picking your portfolio.
Very, very nicely put it there, actually. I think that's a very nice way to say it. And also, I have one another question with another small part of it. So you already explained this, but it's more over the CV of a younger designer that who want to works in Google. What is the exact point? Not exactly, but what is the one thing that they should highlight in their CVs, which make them stand
Okay.
out?
Okay. In CV, I feel as a designer, my CV is my portfolio. Trust me. What happens is as soon
Okay.
as you send a resume, the first thing as a hiring manager, I click on your portfolio link. So the first,
Okay.
if you see from a UX point of view, the first thing I look for is your the portfolio link. So your resume should be so accessible that link should be clearly visible to any hiring manager. So I'm just talking from a pure product design point of view.
Agree.
The user requirement is the case study portfolio link, and your resume should basically feature that first.
Agree.
Then second thing comes is more about how many years of experience you have. Because, for example, I'm hiring for a senior designer, and you have 4 years of experience. The problem is I cannot hire you for this big
Agree.
company. I understand you have worked in a good company, but the problem is I hire you in a team where all the designers are like 12, 15 years. How do I put a 4-year designer when it
It's a
reduces
fit.
my parity
Agree. It's about fit.
into the entire team? So people need to understand that I have a great portfolio. Why didn't you hire me as a senior designer? There is
Agree.
something called as parity also,
Hmm.
which is there among designers. So maybe I'll look into what is your experience. Do you fit in that? Some company look for example, you said if somebody is hiring for Grow or Zerodha, maybe they want to look for a fintech company. Maybe possible, I'm saying not always,
Hmm.
but maybe they have a requirement, so they want to look for what's your previous experience, have you worked in a fintech or not, those kind of thing. Because then you know more of a nuances, right? What you said about trading and coin and those kind of a thing. So that's also, so rest of the part of resume is only for that do you fit into the category of interview screening
Agree.
round, that. But entire judgment is based on your portfolio. So create resume as much like whatever you want, but ensure your portfolio is visible, your previous experience is visible. Don't make it 10 page. I have seen 10 pages also. I don't want to know so much. That's why, otherwise, then resume will be the only thing to hire you, right? Why do
Agree,
I call you
agree.
for an interview and all those things? Make it short, crisp, to the point, that what you want to showcase, and that's it. And nowadays LinkedIn is a very big platform. People don't even need resume. A lot of people just go through LinkedIn, and that's how they also shortlist also. So ensure whatever writing in resume and details should be updated in your LinkedIn, because that's the public platform where I can find out
Yeah,
your
exactly.
authenticity, maybe those kind of a thing.
Great, great, great. Is very nice actually. One question that people usually ask about the Google, interview process or the hiring processes. If you can walk through us a small, quick steps of hiring, that
Yeah.
the what and what is the most surprising for you at your time of.
Yeah. So I think so the hiring process for this MNC is bit of generic. It's not that everybody have a complete different structure. Most of them is same. So first goes through the portfolio screening, which happens in background. Basically, your resume is got from any HR, hiring manager, whatever. They go through your case study portfolios and look into it and see whether it's worth to call for a screening round or not. We call a screening round. The first round is screening round, where somebody will come and look like, should we invest in next 6 or 7 rounds or not with this candidate. So you will be presenting more of your case study, one of the project which you are confident around. Will have bit of question answer understanding those around. So it's more of a chill round. It's not a very serious round, which I always tell. And they figure out that, okay, this person is worth of the next round. And then next round can be a one-on-one or can be a group interview, where basically what happens, maybe 5 to 6 people will sit together and you'll be presenting one of the case study. Now the goal of this round is to just to present your case study. They will not ask you a question. They will not give you any kind of feedback in that round. It's just that they give you 1 hour, you present your entire case study, like full, whatever you have with you. Maybe basic questions can be asked in that, small questions. But what happens after that round, immediately they schedule with the 5 people who were sitting in the interview, which is group round. Each of the person will be having a one-on-one with you, or maybe two-person, two versus one, that kind of a thing set up. And then you will have maybe another 3 to 4 round like that, where everybody will ask you about the questions they have with your case study which you presented 1 hour before in the previous interview. Along with, everybody have a different round. Now, there is something called as whiteboarding round, where basically you both talk about a problem statement. They give you a problem statement. They don't expect you to design anything, but it's more about what we say, that don't jump into the solution, ask the right question. They want to figure out whether you're asking the right questions or not, and what is your process of working, which is there. But yeah, design again, if you want to do it in pen and paper, I did it in pen and paper because I feel that's the quickest for me rather than working on Figma. And that's fine. You just do a pen and paper, you show it in the screen. And but it's a collaborative effort. You both actually works. Like that's the best thing I see, and surprising thing that most of the company, the interviewer also take part in that, and the person who's giving interview also actually works together in the same case study. So basically, that simulates a way of working with the PM, which is there. So that basically helps them to judge. And then followed by, there is a round where basically again the same, another person will come ask you exactly the same questions around the case study. And maybe, so every company have something called as leadership principle, which is internal documents, where basically they judge you in different aspects of their leadership principle. Now every company have a different one, and every level have also been different one. Like if I am hiring at a fresher level, there may be a two leadership principle. If I go to a senior level, there can be four leadership principle we I need to check. So every interview has been assigned to a kind of a leadership principle to check. Somebody may have a collaboration effort. They want to check what all collaboration you did in this project, those kind of thing. Some interviewer will check on leadership concept. So they want to see what all leadership aspect you have taken in your project. Like what are the places you have taken lead, what are the places you have just worked around it, those kind of a thing. So yeah, these are the thing which, and then it goes around 4 5 round. And then at the end, mostly the hiring manager comes. And with hiring manager, usually it's more of a generic discussion, around what you work on, what you have worked previously, what is your experience. They want to see how did you contributed to your previous team, and how are you willing to contribute in this new team. It is again a contribution plus also to see a cultural fit, whether this candidate is a good cultural fit for my team or not. So yeah, then the hiring manager round happens, and after that, technically, I have never seen an HR round where basically you sit in the chair and discuss. It never happens. Then after that, you get a call. If you're selected or rejected, you get a call from HR to discuss more about compensation and all those things. Which is, but there will be no formal, like, one-on-one kind of an interview, or maybe for some company it happens, but it's mostly a telephonic call with an HR to discuss on those aspects. And then if you agree, you both agree to it, then the offer letter is generated and rest of the process starts.
Mean to say is like suppose someone applied for a like suppose I applied for a Google for a particular job title or job specifically
Yeah,
vacancy, and somehow I'm not able to get through one of those stages. So Google take my
yeah,
whole interview, full complete cycle
yeah,
of the interview, and
yeah.
it might they select maybe this guy is not suited for this, but this guy is more suited to this.
Possible.
That's why this is
Highly,
how.
highly possible. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's possible. See, screening round is a knockout kind of a round. Most of the companies,
Okay.
like, you don't clear it, you will not get other interviews. But after screening round, it's more of that you take all the interviews. Then what happens is, usually when we apply for a job role that's specific to a team, that okay, you are getting hired. It's possible that after I take all the interview, I find that no, this person is not for this product. This person is for this product. It's possible. It's not that it's a high case that we keep on changing, but it happens with job level. For example, you applied for, we call it UX1, UX2, UX3, senior designer. You applied for UX2. After taking interview, I feel like no, this person doesn't have so much of experience. So this person needs to be in UX1. So the offer you will get, even if you get selected, is for UX1. Or maybe after the interview, I feel no, this person have a great experience. So this person should be UX3. That also happens. So
Oh.
it's basically whenever they take an interview, they consider one level up and one level below, which
Oh,
is
that's very nice.
it's that's a culture of both the company, because they don't want to hire somebody who's talented and maybe in a lower level. So they consider one level high, that maybe this person needs to be in the next level, which is
That's
there,
very
and you will get
transparent,
offer
means.
accordingly.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
very
So
transparent.
yeah, it happened with me in Google. Same thing. I've been considered for a different level, then I got a better level, which is there. But yeah, it happens. That's why I got to know, which is there. Microsoft, I was aware of the situation because I was internal team. Google, I got to know because it happened with me. Same thing. Amazon
Okay.
also same thing happens mostly, that one level high, one level below.
One of those small questions that I have, that it is very necessary for you to know the material design guidelines on everything before you gets into Google for a position.
I don't know. Till now, I don't know material design. I'm learning it right now
Because
because
you
I
are
have to
more
use it.
towards the fluent, right? I think.
Yeah, I was fluent. I was completely fluent because I was with Microsoft. So fluent is
Of
something
course,
which
of course.
day-to-day life, which is there. So yeah, I'm right now learning material design, like the design system. The only thing which difference is just the design language and all. Rest,
Agree.
the process remains same for me. So yeah, I'm learning material design, and there are hundreds of different design systems internally for different products. So I'm still
Oh.
learning those things. So till the interview, or till now also, I would confidently say that I am not sure about how exactly material design works. So it's not that before interview, somebody in the interview, somebody will ask you, hey, you know material design, and if you can't do, we'll not hire you. No, it will never happen.
Brilliant, man, brilliant. This is very very nice input. Actually, a lot of the people actually, even my juniors ask sometimes, because we should by heart this thing, right?
No,
I
not at all.
shouldn't
By
not
heart
at all.
what you have in
What?
your
Yeah,
own company.
exactly. Agreed.
Yeah, that's important.
Nice. So that's very nice input. One and another. I think this is a we can. I have two more questions, but I'm not gonna. We're gonna surpass already 3 hours.
Yeah,
So I also respect your time on this. Are you already very kind for this one? Just I think last question I can put it second last or maybe last.
yeah.
So it's like a small roadmap that you can give for people who are aiming to land on the UX role at the Google in 1 or 2 years. What would
Yeah.
be the roadmap looks like for you?
Yeah, the best roadmap, first of all, before you jump into roadmap, I would say don't think of going to UX design in Google. That's a wrong roadmap if you started selecting. Wanted to be a product designer, your goal should be a product designer.
Oh,
Irrespective
that's
of you
very
land
nice.
into a Google, Microsoft, or Amazon. Trust me, I never made a like Amazon happened to me surprisingly because I gave 1 year before my resume, it got rejected. And 1 year after, I got a call from Amazon back that do you want to give the interview? And I said yes, and that's how it happened. I didn't
That's
apply,
great.
so it was like 1 year of timeline. And Microsoft, I sent somebody in LinkedIn that hey, this is my portfolio. The person saw, then ghosted me for 2 weeks, and then suddenly I got a call from HR, and I gave the interviews thinking that okay, let's see, I'll see whether it happens or not. But it happened somehow. Google also same thing. The HR pinged me in the LinkedIn and like, do you want to give the interview? I said, okay, let me give the interview. And it happened somehow. So your roadmap should not be that I want to sit in Google. So that's why I wanted to be a product designer or all. What I say is be a product designer. If Google feel it that okay, this is a worth it, they will definitely uh, get you through the interview, which
Nice.
is there. So your roadmap should be understanding what a product design works on, what how basically you use AI into your daily life, what is collaboration looks like, how a product designer should work in an industry. Yeah, those kind of things. How do you contribute back to your own team? What are the process optimization you should look? What is a skill set in presenting, what is skill set in presenting to stakeholders. These are the things we should learn around, and then I feel automatically someday it will happen. I would not say that if you do all those things and then you go and apply, there is a formula that Google will call you for an interview. It may not happen. So that's why I say that I don't know exactly what's the XYZ formula to get a call from these companies. But do this so that your chances increase and someday you will land up. Definitely. That's the thing.
One of those is small extension of this question is I heard and read a lot about, and even you supported in earlier in this conversation that your hobbies or your side projects matters a lot for Google.
Yeah, definitely. So that's why I said if you are a great product designer, then the question is there are five great product designer in the interview. Now, how do I separate one of them? Because I have one position, but I have five great product design. I cannot hire five people. Definitely, I have only one position open. That's where your other things works. That what exactly you do, what exactly like some of my side project. I said you, I worked on a Figma plugin to process optimize in my team. So they were very interested in what exactly you did and what are the thing around it, because those are mindset that every day you are facing the challenge. Nobody raised a question that why you are facing the challenge, but the question is, so I said again, some of the thing came to me because I was lazy to accept that process. I was like, I will not accept it, it's too lazy, too lengthy for me to go through that. So why don't we optimize it, why don't we automate it? It's a manual process. So yeah, those kind of mindset, because that gives the mindset of the person as a product designer. So side project definitely work. First be perfect in the product design field, and then basically works on some of the project which make meaning to in your team or maybe for your process. Yeah, that will definitely give you a edge. As you said that five, like one position, five designer, all are great case studies. How do I separate? That's how you will get separated.
That's really, really amazing. I think that's answered, especially the fresher ones who have these questions towards it. And it's also added a lot of good insights that you put it on. I'm also surprised with few of it. It's really, really great.
One line for the people, I think, as I said, AI optimize, human invent. Keep go with this line and keep understanding the basics of product design. And you will land up into a job definitely. Don't focus on where exactly you want to land up. So yeah, that's the simple thing.
Perfect. This is Sujit Pradhan for in Designs of Everyday. And my name is Ekalavya Singhania. I'm going to put his LinkedIn and social medias down in the description. Please like him, share. Also, we'll meet more about this one. Thank you, Sujit. Thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
so for being stay for like almost 3.5 hours. So thank you. Bye
No
bye.
issues.
Take care. Take
Thank
care,
you.
buddy.
Bye bye.